All right, fans, this week I got a really special episode for you. I'm coming out here to meet up with my good buddy, Monty LeClair, who's a West Coast Navy SEAL with combat experience with the Mark 12 SPR. In addition, he's the brains behind Centurion Arms. We're going to take a real hard look at this weapon system that has been doing great things for our country overseas, as well as the ammo that goes along with it, the one and only Black Hills Mark 262. Stay tuned. The SPR is a concept that actually goes back to World War II in a lot of ways. The Germans started with the G43. It came with a scope rail already built into it, and the concept was a soldier could put a 4-power scope on it and use it as more or less a designated marksman rifle if need be, or if he had the skill set to do so. But really, the Soviets kind of took it to the next level with the SVD. They had a purpose-built gun. You could say sniper rifle, but truly the SVD is a designated marksman's rifle, especially when you look at the number that they field. Now, the difference it has between what we're using now in the SPR is, remember, they were fielding the AK in 7.62x39. In addition, the SVD in 7.62x54R, so there was a little bit of difference. Now when we get to the SPR, essentially it took us a while to get the concept, but the United States has taken it to a completely new level. And to be real honest with you, the AR platform has allowed that. It's very easy to free float it. It has a flat top upper receiver so you can mount a variety of different optics. It hinges for ease of disassembling, assembly, and cleaning. So the M4, M16 style platform has been ideal for the SPR. One of the reasons why it's been so successful in the U.S. military.
My first experience with the SPR program rifle was when I got issued a Mark 12 Mod 1 to actually deploy overseas with. We got it for our workup as part of our sniper suite. It was the first time that I'd actually seen it, and it was the first time we'd actually had a 5.56 actorized weapon in the system with a scope and suppressor and everything. And at first you're kind of like, well, why do we have this? We have regular M4s. And the more I got to shoot it and use it, the more I got an appreciation for it. And especially when I deployed overseas, having that thing with me, it fit a lot of niches that I kind of didn't realize that we were missing until I got and actually started using it. It's really good for precision stuff out to 300-400 yards, and it really fit a nice niche.
Hey, I want to introduce you to my good friend, Monty LeClair. He's a West Coast Navy SEAL and also the man behind Centurion Arms. I've known Monty for many years. Thank you, brother, for coming. When I think of SPRs, Monty's the first guy I think of. He not only built my Mark 12 Mod 1 SPR, but with Centurion Arms, he's kind of upped the ante with rails and barrels and whatnot that are tailor-made for that specific role. So we're going to table talk the SPR, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Now, Monty, you've deployed with the gun. How long were you overseas with it, and how much did you use it versus a standard M4?
I was deployed for about 7 months to Iraq with it, and it was probably about 50-50 between being an assaulter or doing recce Overwatch type missions, where the Mark 12 Mod 1 was my primary weapon for that.
Okay, now, was it pretty much set up like this? This is the gun you built me. Was it real similar to this setup?
Pretty much exactly like this.
Okay, from your experience, strengths and weaknesses of this platform, and as you see it here.
Obviously, with the sniper mission, you're making this your primary weapon. It being a little bit longer is a little bit harder to do house clearings and stuff. A lot of times on a recce team, you still need to do that. You still need to, even though it's not your primary target building, you're still taking down a building that, potentially has people in it and issues. So obviously it being a larger weapon, makes it a little bit harder to do room entries and clearances and stuff. We may do and do it, but that's one of the downsides of the larger weapon. Obviously, it's what's needed with the full stock, for, better shoulder position for more precision shooting, as well as the longer barrel, to help give you a little bit better velocity and range.
Now, from what you've seen, I'm sure you would agree, there's really no need for auto in it. Have you seen any of the guns issued with the auto sear taken out?
I have not. They've all had the auto sear in it, and I agree. To me, it's just not something that I use on my standard M4, let alone one that's made for designated marksman precision type shooting.
Now, the trends we've seen with this gun in the service, have you seen any of the issues where guys are wanting to do the piggyback setup like you see with the ACOG and like a red dot optic on top, or even a micro off to the side, an aimpoint micro? Are you starting to see that with this gun?
Absolutely. A lot of guys, once again, we have a lot of the little miniature red dots, and we have replacement rings that you replace the top, and it's a platform that holds that. And that's a real common trend for guys to do, that they'll go ahead and take this rear ring and pull it off, put that platform on there and sight in the red dot.
Yeah, because when you're up close, like this is a 2.5 to 10 Night Force, correct? which was what you deployed with, up close within 25 yards or closer in room distances, that 2.5 power is just, it's unusable.
It is.
You know, so you're really almost point shooting unless you got something in a piggyback format in a red dot sight.
Correct. So that red dot works out there for a lot of guys really well. They can just kind of pull their cheek weld up, kind of look over the rifle, and right there they've got their red dot.
And now the most famous ammo when it comes to SPRs is the Mark 262. What's your personal experience using that stuff?
The Mark 262, I love that ammo. You know, once again, in the SPR role, it obviously shines and brings the most out of the platform, but that ammo is good across the board. I mean, we found that we like it in the 10-inch barrels. It tends to have better performance in the short barrel stuff, as well as the standard M4. And when you go shoot groups with the M4, just shooting that ammo when we're doing quals, as opposed to a green tip, will shrink your group size in half.
Now, when you look at the SPR as a platform, there's only a few constants. One, they generally all have free float rails. They're certainly all chambered in 5.56. They almost always use a stainless match barrel, and believe it or not, they use the Harris bipod as a constant. The other one that they use as the preferred ammo in all of them, if it's available, is the Black Hills Mark 262. Now, next thing up, Monty and I are gonna take these guns out, start getting some rounds downrange, and we're gonna highlight each and every gun and the unique features about that particular platform for the folks at home. Hey, thanks for watching the Vickers Tactical YouTube channel. To subscribe, click here. And to watch some of my favorite videos, click here. Have a good one. LAV out.